What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today, as you guys know, the balance patch is coming soon. This week we're gonna get the notes, and I want to talk about what I think will happen in the balance patch, okay, or what I hope for to happen. But first of all, I will try to not be too loud today because I have a special guest in my room, and I don't really want to wake him up. I think he's sleeping. Let me show you. Okay, see? I don't want to disturb him, okay, but my doggo is here. And he is a little bit sick, okay? So he has to spend some time with me. Because over here it's pretty warm, and I think he just has a cold or something. So right now he's just resting a bit. So I'm gonna try not to be loud as usual, okay? But yeah. What do I think is gonna happen? Well, there's a couple nerfs that we expect, hopefully. I mean, we've been expecting these for a bit now, and they haven't really happened yet. And I feel like it's about time, right? What am I talking about? Well, there's a couple LDs, but there's also a couple normal element ones, which kind of make which kind of have to be there, right? Now, I'm gonna start with fire as usual, and Juno, right? Juno is probably the most broken one when it comes to fire. She definitely needs to be on the chopping block. Since they gave her the speed buff, she just completely exploded. And aside from her, when it comes to fire, there's nothing else that's that ridiculous. There's a couple really strong units, but Juno kind of makes everyone look weak. So, what's the thing with Juno, right? Speed buff. Comtois decided to give her something broken because they took away some bar, right? They did that with every single one. But with Juno, they went a bit too far. What's my suggestion for this? Well, first of all, it doesn't have a cooldown, which is kind of ridiculous. Second of all, it's 2 turns. So even if she takes a turn, she will still have it next turn. So that means that it's infinite, pretty much, right? So what can they do to make Juno worse or less OP? They could try making it a 1 turn. I don't think that would do much, but it would maybe help a bit. The second thing is remove the speed buff. They could maybe add a bit more healing if they do that, make it like a 15. If they remove the speed buff, I would be fine with that. But she is pretty broken, right? And she's gonna continue being broken until she gets nerfed, right? Now, do I expect to see her in the patch? No. Does she need it? Yeah. I don't expect it though. So this one is just kinda just mostly my wishes. And it's not only me, okay? There's many people will say it, and I see why some people wouldn't agree with it. You know, because a lot of people do use her, and yeah, it's just very strong. Now, I don't really want to talk about anything when it comes to fire. When it comes to nerfs, we'll be back when I want to talk about the buffs. But when it comes to nerfs, water. Now, what's the best unit here? Definitely, it has to be Mr. Acog. Now, Hagang was fine. And then they buffed him. And then he was more than fine. And then they buffed him. So Hagang got overbuffed because he wasn't used much. And the reason he wasn't used much is that people don't really like to get out of their comfort zone. And if a unit is not completely broken, people will usually stick to what they're already playing, right? So Comtos made it clear that they really want people to use him, and they made him completely broken. So now he's getting used a good chunk, but they went too far. So I'm pretty sure this didn't give bar on cleanse before, and then they made it give 15 bar, and this was also 15, like both were 15, and then they upped it to 20. Now, how can they nerf Hagang? Well, they could lower these rates, literally half both of them, if they wanted to, or just kind of revert what they did before. The cleanse thing also is a bit broken because it only needs to cleanse one unit to give bar to the whole team. So if you were to use a skill 2 on Chongpong and your Chongpong is in despair, if one unit there gets a debuff, the whole team is going to get boosted by 20%. You do not need to land on other units to get the 20% from the cleanse thing. So if they made it maybe per unit that you have to like you only get bar if the unit gets cleansed, and the ones that don't get cleansed, they don't get bar, maybe they could do it, but they would still have to lower this percentage at least to 15 if they did that. Or maybe make it that this doesn't work on opponents, because as you guys know, if you're fighting a Camila, Rakuni, anything that cleanses, this 20 bar AoE, you will always gonna get it. Every time Rakuni cleanses, you will always get 20% AoE bar on every single unit, which is absolutely broken, okay? So definitely Hagang. Hagang is probably the one that needs to be nerfed the most. Like out of all the elemental nat 5s, Hagang is the first one in my opinion that just needs to be toned down, because he ruins so many, like so many things he just ruins, right? And it's just not a fair unit. I played with it a lot last season, this season as well, before as well. I mean, you guys saw it. I was first picking him every match. It is broken. Do I expect to see Hagang? Yes. Okay, Juno a little bit less. Hagang, I do expect to see him because he's such a big problem to the game, you know? And even as someone who's used them so much and got G3 last season using him, and just is broken. Definitely broken. Water. I don't really want to talk about anything else when it comes to water. I think I'll keep it one unit for each element when it comes to nerfs. Maybe in LD I'll do more. But when it comes to wind, I would still probably just pick Leo as that one unit, because Leo's still the best wind unit, undoubtedly. There's nothing really as strong. Other than that, Oliver still at 33 is annoying, but Oliver kind of fell off a bit, and Vanessa's being used a decent chunk now. Vanessa Cigar combo is really coming to life, and yeah, I don't think there's much to talk about when it comes to wind. Leo is one of those who needs it, but we're not gonna see definitely, because it just won't happen. I've seen people talk about Sonya a bit. I don't think Sonya needs it either. I don't use her much, but she has a good chunk of counters. It's not that hard to counter her either, so I don't think it's like a... I can see it why people see it as a problem, but I feel like you can make a bunch of counters for her. It's not super hard to deal with her, you know. But she's definitely really strong. But as an example, Etna is still a better unit. So I'm not seeing that many people saying Etna needs a nerf. So when it comes to wind, probably nothing's gonna get nerfed here. I'm not really seeing it. Now, light. Light has two units that really just are abusing everyone else more than others. And first one is Laura, still absolutely broken. The nerf they did on skill 1 was an absolute joke. I don't know how they thought that would be okay to do, and they were literally laughing at people with the skill 1 nerf. Skill 2 didn't get touched, skill 3 did get nerfed. It's still broken, right? They lowered the strip chance a bit. They made speed buff 1 turn. Speed buff 1 turn is still crazy. Defense buff 2 turns is nice. The damage is ridiculous, right? Damage is proportionate to max HP and defense. So you're getting a defense buff, and you're getting defense scaling and max HP scaling and insane additional damage scaling. So this skill is absolutely broken still, like, and skill 1 is broken. I mean, they definitely need to nerf Laura. Do I think we'll see her in the patch? I hope so. I hope so. I mean, it's just ridiculous a bit how stupid this unit is still. Next one, Tianlang, right? Everyone knows this. He keeps dodging patches miraculously. Comtos knows what they're doing. Obviously, they want some of these units to be absolutely broken. So it's kind of sad that they keep, like, they don't rotate units, right? Like, I get it. You want to keep some units broken so people would have a reason to summon them. But I would like to see units being rotated a bit, right? You make something else super strong so people want it, right? You don't need to always keep the same unit. For years and years now, Tianlang's been broken, right? And every single patch he just dodges. So we hope. Now, do I think I'm gonna see him in the patch? I don't think so. I don't think so, but because of that reason that we never see him in the patch. So we will see what Comtos does. But I hope this year, 10-year anniversary, I hope these balanced patches are gonna be good this year. Because the last couple, like, you know, I feel like we really need more from these patches. So yeah, everyone's hoping for it except the people who have them. But yeah, we'll see. It's possible. It's possible. Don't want to talk about anything else when it comes to light. This unit is absolutely broken as well. I don't think they're gonna nerf her because it's kinda newish still. Not really, but kinda, right? Kinda newish. But it is broken. Okay, it is absolutely broken. The only counter to this unit is Tianlang, and it's not even like a crazy kind of counter. It is pretty good, but the counter to her is the best unit in the game, and she's one of the best units in the game at the moment. It's just ridiculous how many turns she gets. Defense break, additional damage, skill 1 defense break, like, it's a really good one. Skill 2 is really good too. 3-turn cooldown, which is basically a 1-turn cooldown considering how many turns she takes, so it's ridiculous. You're always gonna outspeed your opponent on turn 1. It's insane. Like, it is insane. This unit, one of my most wanted right now, and it's just ridiculous. So I don't think we're gonna see her, but this unit might need some modification very soon. I forgot to mention she's immune to inabilities, so there's nothing you can do to stop her. But yeah, when it comes to light, I think that's about it. Julian is getting talked about a lot. I agree, he's absolutely ridiculous. There's some other super strong units, but I'm not gonna make this video 5 years long, so let's keep going. Dark. There's not too much that I want to mention when it comes to Dark. There's a couple units that are really, really strong. Like Jackson is super insane. Zenisic is super insane. Potter is ridiculous as well. Those three are just... right now, those three are probably the most annoying units. There's always going to be Nephthys plus Maxi in the conversation because they are the best speed leads in the game, pretty much. But I don't think those two are going to be seen. I think there's no way that's going to happen. I don't think anything from Dark is gonna be seen, honestly. There's very, very strong things, but I don't think anything touches Tianlang, Alora, and Berghild from Dark. Like, as I said, Jackson and Zenisic are super close to that. They're right behind, but yeah, I don't think we're gonna see anything from this. Now, I want to talk about buffs a bit. Last patch, we've seen some of these. Previously, we've seen some of these guys. Now, we're not gonna see these, but we will see these, probably. That's usually how Comtos does it. They release new units, the next patch, they're not on it, the patch after, they're on it. So, what can Comtos possibly do to these guys, right? Mulguang. Skill 1, good. Skill 2, good in my opinion as well. AoE Strip, or should I say Absorb, with healing as well. It's a very good skill, I would say. Same as the skill 1. Classic stunning skill 1 with max HP damage, very nice. Now, passive is weird. I don't know why they decided to make him a daughter. It's kind of sad. It is not terrible though, I would say, because you do get a good, you get a bunch of hits here. So that's 2 potential dots per unit, technically. And you also destroy max HP based on the inflicted damage from dots. Still, it's dots, right? It can't be just dots. They would have to add something to the passive here. Something additional, right? Puts slow on every hit or something like that. So you would get an AoE Strip with slow. You would get a skill 1 with slow. Would that make him a good unit? Definitely would make him usable. I don't see why not, right? It needs to be something that actually matters. Right, dots, it's cool, you're getting that additional damage, but max HP destroy thing is just kind of useless, especially in RTA, maybe in Siege potentially, but you still don't really want to use them in Siege. There's better options, I feel like. So it's just, yeah, this guy definitely needs some addition to his passive. Accuracy Awakening, not bad. Now the problem is base speed a bit, because a stripper with 96 base speed, it ain't it, okay? A Comtos needs to stop releasing units with 96 base speed. They need to stop releasing units under 102, 103 base speed, because it is making a lot of units unusable, okay? They made like, what is this? Are they making them 96 XP because they're fat, or like because they're big or shit? They can't move. Like, what is happening, Comptos? Are you discriminating? Okay, against chunky people? I'm just kidding, but for real, 96 base speed. Who can, like, it's not good. Don't do that. You're making units that could actually be usable forever unusable if you keep these speeds, right? So that's what I have to say about Mugwang. Now, Jongnam. This one's good. Straight up, this one is a good unit. On release, good. I would not... I don't think he needs any changes. I think he has really good base stats. I think he has a really good second skill and a pretty good third skill. Awakens into speed, which is pretty insane. And yeah, it's pretty rare that you're gonna see me say something like this, because Comptos usually never really hits they never really hit it on the release of a unit, right? So this one, I could maybe see them increase this by 10% maybe at the max or something like that, but I think he's actually good. So well done with this one. But as you guys can see, Speed Awakening. It matters a lot, you know, it matters a lot. Even if this skill isn't the greatest skill of all time, it just helps a lot to be able to build them the way you need to. So, Byung Chul. Now this one, I don't have too much to say about, because I haven't really seen it much. So, again, it's the strip skill, the steal skill, but then he has a passive that makes him crit on every attack, and then in addition, your damage taken decreases according to your current HP. Awakens into resistance, which potentially makes him a 100 res unit that doesn't need crit rate to hit a crit. Looks like a siege unit to me, mostly. Again, AoE strip on a unit that has 96 base speed. I don't really like that. And oh, my dog is snoring. I'm sorry about that. Oh, he's so cute. I'm sorry guys, but I can't wake him up right now. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by my doggy. What does this guy need to be more used? I don't really know. This one kind of tricky. This one's kind of tricky. I feel like this skill just doesn't fit well with him for some reason. So I do think he needs something though. Can they add something to the passive? I feel like this passive is already kind of stacked, but they could add something, right? To make it better. Yeah. Light one. This one is the one that Apse pulled. And honestly, this one is weird. It's the same skill, right? Strip. But then it has a passive to increase the crit damage if the target has no beneficial effects. When an ally attacks, lands a crit. And decrease damage taken by 10% for every beneficial effect granted on the ally. This effect doesn't stack with other critical damage increase and damage reduction effects. So they made this LD5 for R5, because in R5 the opponent is never going to have, the boss will never have beneficial effects, right? So they made an LD5 for R5, but it has a AoE strip So like I feel like this whole passive needs to be reworked, deleted, and made a new one, right? That's what Contos needs to do with this guy. Because this will never happen, pretty much. Well, it could happen, but it's weird. Like, it will happen, but it's weird. Why would you want 50% crit damage? Like, maybe if this guy had good base speed, you could use him as a stripper, and then your Han moves, right? So you're getting 50% crit damage. You're attacking a unit that doesn't have a... that doesn't have beneficials anymore because he stole them, right? But 96 base speed, how are you supposed to use a stripper? Like, I can see this being decent maybe if he had good base speed. But again, it's like, it's impossible. Like, they're limiting these units so hard by giving them 96 base speed. Especially because all three of them have strip on second skill. That is ridiculous to me. So the way to fix these is actually just give them 5, 6, 7 base speed, and they should be much better. In addition to maybe giving this guy something on the passive and this guy, and maybe this guy, but I feel like, again, you add 6, 7 more speed on this, they're better. They're automatically just better units. And he gets into res as well, which I can see kind of as a support unit. You want him to stay alive, you want him to be there to maybe stun something or something like that, but yeah. Gapsu. Do I even talk about him? They gave it to us for free. No one uses him. Second skill is a steel one with max HP damage. Increase your attack bar by 10% whenever an enemy recovers the HP. In addition, recovers the HP of the ally with the lowest HP status by 10% whenever you gain a turn. You're getting 10% bar when someone heals on a unit that doesn't really do much when he gets a turn. So do you care that much? Especially 10%, that's nothing, right? Dude, this unit gets 10% whenever anyone takes a turn. Whenever anyone takes a turn, she gets 10%. And every hit she does strips, and she's immune to inability effects. Now let's compare this LD5 to this LD5. This passive is 0.0001% of what Berghild has, right? So I don't know what to say. Like, I just don't know what to say. This is something that could be 50% and it still wouldn't be OP and it still wouldn't be used. I feel like that's literally how it is. Maybe someone would use it, but they could make this 50%. Like, and he still doesn't like do a crazy amount of things. Yeah, this skill is pretty good. This skill is okay, but again, you're gonna have this on cooldown. Even if you don't, it's gonna be a couple 6k, 7k, 8k damage maybe. It isn't like crazy, right? So this guy definitely like, I mean, listen, I said it as a joke, but hey, I want to see them make this 50% or 40%, and then I want to see him how he actually works. Aside from that, I want to talk about them because they are the ones who should be on the patch right now, who are on the map, because this is going to be their first patch. And I don't want to make this video like super long. As I said, it's already like half an hour almost, and I'm just gonna quickly go through some more stuff. But it's a lot of repeating, right? It's a lot of repeating. We're waiting for a lot of units to be buffed, and every single time we say, hey, that needs a buff, that needs a buff, that, and it just doesn't get buffed for so many patches, and then maybe it comes one day and then it's not enough. So maybe we see these guys again. They definitely, some of them need it, definitely, like this one needs it, this one needs it. This one, I don't think so. This one needs it, and this one is kind of okay now. I'm not really super sure. These guys definitely need it. The fire one needs it. Light and wind one really need it. Water could use something as well, maybe. Dark one's pretty good. AC units, still. Some of them are just really in a need of a buff, right? Like bikes, wind bike, fire bike. These girls, maybe this one needs something, right? Like the Avors as well. You can see the water one isn't that great. The dark one is cool, but maybe needs a little touch as well. And Ezio's as well, right? Ezio's as well. This one, the skill sucks, right? The skill sucks. It needs something on these skills, right? Fire one as well needs something. No one uses him ever, and you're never gonna see him. This one's pretty cool though. Second skill as well, buff like this one would be nice. But yeah. And those are kind of my predictions to what I think we'll see in the balance patch. But yeah, again, sorry for having to be a bit quiet. And yeah, you'll have to excuse my dog, okay? But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you predict in the balance patch? Realistically, okay? Realistically. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you guys soon. Alright, peace out.